I want to warn you about today's video. It might be a little difficult for some viewers, but it's a talk that we need to all talk about, especially for our fire service. And today, that's about suicide. It's been popping up in my feed a lot recently. It's concerning. I've spent a lot of time around firefighters, and there's something that a lot of people don't necessarily see. Firefighters are trained to run towards the chaos, toward pain, and toward the worst days of other people's lives. They're community members, and they carry that call after call, shift after shift, and year after year. And somewhere along that way, it starts to stack up. You know, Here's the truth about it: is that firefighters are 3 times more likely to die by suicide than in the line of duty, and 5 times more likely to commit suicide compared to their civilian counterpart. Let that really sink in for a moment. It's not always the fire that takes them out. Sometimes it's what they carry home. And the hardest part, you won't always see it. The strongest person in the room, the one who's cracking jokes, the one who's checking on everyone, it might be the one that's barely holding it all together. So if you're listening to this, I want you to hear me clearly. If you are struggling, you are not a burden. I know that voice in your head tells you that you are, that you're inconveniencing people, that you should just shut up and deal with it on your own. Don't reach out to anybody. You don't want to bother somebody with your problems. Let me tell you, my friend, that voice is lying to you. And I know this because I know that voice. And I've sat with it in quiet moments when nobody else was around. And trust you me, I know, it doesn't just whisper. It'll convince you. And it makes sound logic. Like the world would be easier without you in it, and that maybe what you would be doing is you'd be doing the world a favor, and everyone else who cares about you. I've heard it try to tell me that and that it was right, but it's not. Don't trust that voice because it speaks the loudest when you're in your weakest moments. Reaching out and asking for help, it isn't admitting defeat. It's literally refusing to give up. Reach out to somebody you trust. And if you don't have that somebody you can trust, reach out to a resource like 988, which is the suicide crisis lifeline. There are some things in life, my friend, that we're not meant to carry alone. And I've said this before, and I mean every single word of it, and I will continue to keep saying this. I would rather sit in whatever tough situation you may find yourself in and listen to what you are going through than stand at your funeral wishing you had said something. Every single time, hands down. All right? And for everybody else that's out there, check in on your people. Not just a, hey, how are you doing? If you get the opportunity, really sit down with them and listen to them and work at being present in the moment with them. Because the signs, they don't always show up until it's too late sometimes. We spend our lives making sure that everyone else makes it home. As firefighters, don't forget, we need to make sure we all make it home. All right? So if this hits you, don't just scroll. Be the one that reaches out. Call that person. Text them. Do it right now. Don't wait for the right time. There isn't a right time. Be the reason that someone might make it through today. Because you matter. They matter. We matter. We all matter more than you think. In this world, well, it's definitely a better place with us all in it. Well, my friends, stay the course, and thank you for being a part of another Firefighter Friday.